Hello and welcome back to this video. Today I'm going to tell you 7 top tips about starting your own electrical business. Well, you know what time it is. It's time for that leap. It's time to go out on your own and build something for yourself. Your own business with your own customers. Is it a good move? What if I fail and I don't get any work? Well, what if this? What if that? What if you don't try and it does become a huge success? Toolbox Talks for Electricians, helping electricians reduce stress, gain back time and earn more money. Ben Poulter, your host of Toolbox Talks for Electricians, here to tell you all these things and the what ifs that you've got in your head that are stopping you from starting your own business. We'll get them out of your head today, straight after this podcast. And this is where starting up on your own electrical business will be one of the best decisions that you've ever made in your life, along with the scariest. There is a number of things you should think about before going out alone, and some things they aren't really taught at college. At college, they prepare you to be a good electrician. With the wiring and the fault finding, you're taught the skills you need to actually do the job. But marketing yourself to people who want actually the jobs done, you're not really taught that. That's all sort of down to you. And what do you think is the best way to get your services noticed and noticed and you can offer your customers? Well, whether you love it or hate it, it's social media these days. The days of going to the phone book or the Yellow Pages, if you remember that, to find a tradesman, they're sort of gone. They're old hat. And everyone now, they just Google it. So getting a Google business profile, a Facebook page or an Instagram page or anything, even all three, would be a start to grow your own business in your local area. A massive tip, if you're up for it, is to create a TikTok channel or a YouTube channel. You never see any of these guys on YouTube or TikTok sitting at home because they haven't got any work. And nobody ever started a business which was a huge success from day one. They all tell you that, yep, I was always busy, I had plenty of work. Well, that's not necessarily true. They had plenty of work because of the things they put in place. And if they tell you that, then, well, basically it's a lie. It's more than likely that maybe they had failed in business for a little bit before. And when they started up their new business, they learned all these mistakes. So they made the mistakes along the way so you don't have to make them the second time. But don't give yourself just like a few weeks to start up. A few weeks and then if it doesn't work, I'm going to go back and get myself a job working for somebody else. You've always got to make a plan. And I always say to myself, fail to plan and plan to fail. If you make a plan from the beginning with some money behind you to get the business going, not a huge amount, not a massive fortune, like 10 grand or anything like that, just enough to pay your insurances and able to pay for your bills maybe for a couple of months if things don't go to plan straight away. Because having money for materials, that won't be a problem whatsoever. Because if you've worked in the electrical industry for a little while, you'll know that you'll know a few wholesalers where you can go to and start up an account. So pop down there, open an account up, and they'll give you a line of credit. And then the materials won't cost you a penny for at least 30 days. And if you're doing jobs that are small jobs, you'll be getting paid for them jobs long before the 30 days is up. And a massive tip as well that I would say, everyone says to you, get yourself some business cards. Hand out some business cards to everyone. Yeah, well, don't do that. That's old fashioned these days. Everyone should be able to get your number in their phone. And as long as you've got a professional number that you use for your business, that's what you want to be handing out. And that way the customer can call you for a quote or they can find you quite easily on social media, maybe something like that. And then when they do call you up, you can give them a quote via email. And your details are easily available. Once you've got their email, you can always email them offers, you can email them upgrades. You'll have to email them certificates and things like that anyway. So you want to stand out and be professional. And talking about being professional, if your email that you've got is sort of when you were 16, which says BillyBigBalls@hotmail.com, Yeah, scrap that off, get yourself a new one, because you've got to look professional if you're starting your own business. And the same goes for your answer machine message on your phone, because if a customer calls you up and they hear you saying, "What's up?" Well, that's not very professional, is it? Trust me, it's not going to sound very good, and they're going to think, well, I'm not going to phone that guy back. He's a little bit intimidating, maybe shouting "What's up" down the phone, even though it was an answer machine message. Get something nice like a "Thank you for calling, Toolbox Talks for Electricians, we'll get back to you ASAP," or something like that. Just something normal that you can get them to leave their number and then get back to them. And I suppose depending on your budget, get yourself some polo shirts with your name and your logo on to look professional. Basically, you look the part. I know it's not all about looking the part, but I guarantee you that customers take your first impressions as sort of as gospel sort of thing. You turn up wearing a crappy pair of tracky bottoms and some trainers with holes in, they're not going to have a good first impression. But if you turn up with a nice polo shirt with your name on it and looking very professional, it's about presentation. They're going to think, yeah, I'd trust this guy in my house and I'd like him to do the work for me. And it can be a little bit scary at first, meeting so many new people all the time, talking to them and writing things down of details of the jobs that you want doing. But this will get a lot easier over time. I do make a point of saying to the customer now, "I'll pop round for a cup of tea and we'll see what you want doing." At least that way you get a cup of tea out of it as well. And also, starting up your own business, there's going to be people all around you, mum, dad, friends and family, that will support you. So use their support. Get them to talk about what you're doing by starting up your own business, and ask them to pass your number on to family and friends. The more people you get to meet with the more information and the more quotes you put out, then that's going to help your business grow a lot faster. And another thing that's obviously helped my business grow over time, from back in 2004, I think I started it up, is knowing other electricians. It's been a huge benefit to me and in my business, because you can help other electricians out. Some electricians are good at three-phase supplies and others are good at maybe CCTV. Other electricians pass work up all the time, maybe because they're too busy, or because mainly when a customer calls up, it's an electrical problem. They need that problem fixing now, not tomorrow. If that electrician is super busy, then they're not going to be able to wait. So they'll ask you, "Oh, can you recommend someone else that can come a bit sooner?" And you can say, "Yep, this guy, here we go, give him a call, he might be able to help you out." Because if they've got more of a network of electricians that you can maybe recommend and trust to your customers, basically, because you don't want to recommend a cowboy builder to your customers, because they'll leave that impression on you as well. I've had that before. People won't call you because, "Oh, that builder you recommended, he ripped me off." You're like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that to happen," but it does happen sometimes. So swapping numbers with other electricians, it can always be a good idea, because they'll recommend you and then you can use their expertise as well to recommend to your customers. If you can't make it one day, maybe you might be busy, you might be working away on a job that's quite far away, but these people need a call out now. Their electric's tripped off and their fridge is going to melt, so you can say, "Right, give this guy a call, who should be able to help you out." But it's not just electricians, because this goes for most trades. When you work in the trade in someone's house, you'll always get asked for other trades that you recommend to maybe the customer. The customer say, "Do you know a good builder? Do you know a good chippy? Do you know a good plasterer?" Well, if you've got a network of lads or plasterers that you know that you can recommend to customers, they'll do exactly the same for you as well. So keep that in mind whilst building your own electrical business. Always remember why you began the journey to build your own business as well, of being your own boss and running your own business, because it can get tough. There's a number of benefits to being your own boss, because, well, you can't sack yourself for one, and it is tough at times. I'll say that again, it is tough sometimes, it is tough and it is challenging. You come up with all sorts of problems, but it's how you overcome them problems which matters in a way, and in the long run, it's well worth it. For number one, the money is a lot better, and the freedom you have is a massive perk. You can have time off when you want. And then later on down the line, when you do get busy and you've got so much work coming in and so much work to do, you'll be crossing your fingers that a job gets cancelled or put back, just so you can have maybe a day off and do nothing for once, or even catch up. Because normally when you get a day off, you think, right, thank God I got a day off, I can catch up on my paperwork. And the advantage that we've got as being an electrician, it opens you up to a number of different opportunities. It's not just the electrical wiring side of it. As I explained in the other podcast, other jobs you can do as an electrician. So you should go and check that one out and see if something else fits you. Like, you don't have to be a house basher, an industrial or commercial electrician. There's so many other opportunities what you can do with your electrical skills. So till next time, see you again.